Welcome to my channel Daily Bulletin News. As Sarah races to save the poisoned actors, Abe rushes off to confront the very familiar villain behind the attacks. Today's Days of Our Lives starts where yesterday left off, as Kayla collapses onto Steve's shoulder. He gets her over to the sofa, but she's barely breathing, so he calls 911. Alex and Stephanie both let the other know they want to be together, but Alex drops onto the couch before he can kiss her. Steph manages to wake him after he passes out, and she calls 911, shocked to be put on hold. She starts taking care of him, trying to get his fever down while they wait. The hospital finally sends someone out, but Stephanie manages to get Alex's fever down. Taking off his shirt clearly helped. Back at the DeMera mansion, Johnny's wondering why Leo killed Seth, but before he can call the rogue writer, he gets woozy and passes out. Chanel helps him back up and wakes him up, and she calls for an ambulance but is told they need to wait. There's too many other calls. So Chanel helps Johnny up and walks him to the car to drive him to the hospital herself. In his room, Leo realizes the fake script has to be from the stalker. Hattie drops onto the bed in front of a surprised Leo. He asks Hattie to get up a few times, then starts freaking out when he doesn't find a pulse. "Oh, Hattie, you were so funny." He reminisces about their fun times together, but now she's gone. He absently taps her head with his gloved hand. While he talks to her, figuring she died from being so angry, or from all that sodium and cholesterol, he eases the fake script out of her purse. Then Leo just keeps monologuing about her sad death until she murmurs at him to shut up. "Hattie, you're alive." He calls for help, but no one's available. Leo snaps at emergency services, then gets back to Hattie sitting with a cold compress on her head. She asks if he meant everything nice he was saying about her. "I meant every word, kiddo." Abe suddenly realizes who's behind all the sabotage and attacks. "I should have realized this sooner." Elsewhere, Abe's photo is crossed out with a red X by the stalker and Abe walks into the room. "I should have known it was you." Whitley turns around in her hospital room, calmly asking what took him so long. He takes in the board with the photos and accuses her of attacking his show and cast. She happily tells him he's right. He figured it out when Cassandra was being killed off by a cat. "You're right, I did it," she smiles. "And you know what, Abe? I'd do it again." She says he and everyone else ruined her favorite show when they took over. Abe's aghast at doing this just because they took the show in a new direction. Whitley just wanted to show Abe the error of his ways before the soap was damaged beyond repair, so she cleaned house permanently. He wonders how she went after Bonnie inside Bayview. She's got them all convinced she's eccentric, but mostly harmless. Between soap Twitter and the dark web, she found out everything she needed to take everyone out. Body and Soul isn't just a TV show, it's all that kept her going after losing her husband. She's fighting for her life, so all the actors he hired had to die. She holds up the vial of poison she used on them. It's an experimental drug being tried at Bayview, with a toxic side effect. He works through that she poisoned everyone who got a script. "And you're next," she says. She monologues about how he has to die, uncorks the vial of poison, and Paulina pops up and grabs her hand. "Oh no you don't, heifer. Not on my watch." We fade to black, and when we come back, Whitley's tied to her bed, while Paulina tells Abe she wasn't letting him face his stalker alone, after he texted his hunch. She just prays that the rest of her victims got help. Seth is angrily reading through the newest Body and Soul script as Sarah walks by in the hospital. He tells her he's been fired from the show. He's being killed off. He starts ranting about how he's such a great actor who's on his way to being a leading man. But now this. Sarah noncommittally agrees with Seth as he gets increasingly ticked over allowing them to film in the hospital. She just nods along, trying to pull herself away, but Seth won't stop complaining to her about how he dies, just like Whitley King's husband. Stay tuned and subscribe the channel.